This broadcast is sponsored by
Betterhelp. I've been in therapy since my 20s, and it's made a huge difference in my life. There were so many nights where I struggled mentally and emotionally, growing up being bullied, losing relationships. My life is still not perfect, but therapy has really helped me get to a better place. And that's why I believe everyone deserves access to it. We've all faced hardships. We've all had those days where it feels impossible to keep going. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, making professional help accessible and convenient. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire, and they'll match you with a licensed therapist who fits every one of your needs. From there, you can talk to them however you feel comfortable, through video call, through phone, or even chat. We live in a generation driven by social media, so more than ever, you have to make sure you're mentally okay, especially with the pressures of not just everyday life, but also social media. So I encourage you all to take that first step by going to betterhelp.com/justalyx. Take care of yourself mentally, and everything else will fall into place. So don't wait. Go to betterhelp.com/justalyx and start your journey today.
AEW had two of the most sadistic bastards to ever walk a wrestling ring main event their show in an I Quit match that ended with a sharpshooter. Oh, we're going to talk about it right here in Alyx's World. Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx. It is literally 12 a.m. midnight on the dot. The show went off the air 30 minutes ago. Hey, Tony Khan, do me a favor. Have all your shows just start in the afternoon. Whether it's 12 p.m., 2 p.m., 1 p.m. If your shows are going to go this long, just have them start in the afternoon. What happened to the afternoon just working out better for you? Isn't that the excuse you gave the media for why you moved All Out to the earlier time slot? Because everyone assumed you moved it to not compete with WrestlePalooza. You said you moved it because it's just better for everyone if the show is earlier on in the day. Well, what the hell was this? You couldn't have moved this show to earlier on in the day? Why wasn't this at 12 p.m.? Four and a half hours. I'm sorry. Well, not really. If you watch the pre-show, 5.5 hours. But for me, 4.5 hours. Way too long. This show is not that great. It was not that great for it to go 4.5 hours. Wasn't a bad show. But I don't think, in terms of the standard that AEW set for itself, it didn't meet the standard. Was there enough on this show to make me think it was worth the $50? Y'all let me know. I'll give you my thoughts about it at the end of the stream, but I gotta be honest with you. That main event, they had Darby Allin get his fingernail skewed. His fingernail got skewed. A skewer was jammed through his fingernail. Darby Allin had his head drowned in a fish tank. A fish tank! Freaking Claudio picked up Darby, launched him from the ring all the way to the announcer table. This man was getting tortured left and right. What was it, 5-on-1? We were told this was going to be one of the most violent matches. They hyped it up. They hyped it up to be one of the most violent, two of the most sadistic bastards that you could ever imagine. And they ended the match with a sharpshooter. Oh, not just that. So, 5-on-1, guess who comes to Darby Allin's rescue? Sting. Tony, hear me when I say this. You did an excellent job with Sting's last run. His retirement run was one of the best I've seen from any wrestling promotion. You did an excellent job with that. Don't screw it up by having him come back. Let that be a one-off and just a one-off. I don't want to see him come back full time. He needs to be a memory now. Thank you, Sting, for all that you've done. Do not keep bringing him back like that. But regardless of Sting showing up, you had them literally torture each other. You teased fire, Molotovs. You made us think that these guys were going to do some of the most sadistic shit to each other. Hell, I was told that All Out, you had Jon Moxley sticking a fork through Darby Allin's earlobe. We barely got blood in this match. And then they had the nerve, the gall, to end it with a sharpshooter. Two of the most sadistic bastards you will ever see. They're gonna kill each other. They're gonna go too far. Sharpshooter. Jon Moxley quits. What? That's your finish? All that hype, all this build. You had me scared. You had the crowd chanting, "We are nervous. We are nervous." Sharpshooter. Look. I have a feeling there's going to be another match. I don't think this is it. I have a feeling Darby Allin lost the first match, the coffin match. Jon Moxley won this match. There's going to be a blow-off match at Full Gear. And I think, hopefully, that's the match we get the violent blood gore fest that we expected. So, I have a theory. Missouri has what's called the Missouri's Athletic Commission, right? And we all know that they prohibit any kind of ultra-violent television when it comes to professional wrestling. I didn't take that into consideration when they chose St. Louis to hold this match. Because I was...
Everyone say the best show tonight, not you and JD from New York. Denise Salcedo, enjoy tonight.
Good for Denise. I'm not Denise Salcedo. I have my own mind and I have my own thoughts. I have a feeling that originally they were going to get really violent. And I think at the last second, they were told you have to pull back. You have to pull back because Missouri's Athletic Commission could shut our show down if you go too far. And then you can get in trouble. Yeah, I think that's what happened. Because there's no way you gave us all of that entire buildup, just for them to have an I Quit match end with a sharpshooter. I mean, you had Darby Allin teasing fire, a flamethrower, Molotovs. I mean, we saw lighter fluid, but no fire. Didn't even get a flaming table. Compared to what both of these men have put their bodies through over the last 4 or 5 years. Darby Allin jumping off of a ladder through a glass panel and completely cutting his back open. Darby Allin letting himself get hung upside down with blood dripping down his face. some of the most violent visuals I've seen from both men. Jon Moxley got impaled by a spiked 2x4 that literally got lunged into his back. Nothing in this match compared to any of that stuff. Compared to that stuff, this was a kiddie match. We might as well have been swimming in a kiddie pool. PG. I don't know. I just feel like from the build-up we got, this match fell flat. Was it a bad match? No. Some of the stuff they did in there had me squirming. Freaking Darby Allin getting his fingernails skewered. No thank you. And then freaking Claudio throwing him across literally outside the ring onto the announcer table, which was crazy. And then Darby getting drowned in a fish tank. I was scared that Jon Moxley was going to pull out piranhas. I swear to God, I said, please don't pull out piranhas. They're going to pull out piranhas, aren't they? They didn't. We'll probably get that in the next match. But yeah, that was a lot tamer than I thought it was going to be. And I'm sorry, like, for the build-up they gave us, that ending was it was what it was. You know, again, we don't know why they decided to go with that finish. Something tells me they were told by Missouri's athletic commission, you can't do that. So, yeah, I didn't like that ending. I didn't. But the overall match was fine. I'm going to let it go because I think they were handicapped based off of where they were. As for the rest of the show, I'm going to be honest with you. Match of the night goes to Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks. I thought that match was fantastic. That match blew me away with how great it was. I'm so happy that Jurassic Express is back together, and I'm loving the storyline that the Young Bucks are putting themselves on. They have made themselves jobbers. It's, of course, storyline written, but essentially they're jobbers. They are the jobbers of the entire division, and they're losing all their matches. Which I love, by the way. I love that. But man, I can't figure out what other good things I should say about this, because I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Jamie Hayter versus Tekla disappointed me. That felt like a Dynamite match. It felt like a straight, I won't even say Dynamite. That felt like a Collision match. That should have been a match on Collision. I didn't think Kris Statlander and Toni Storm was all that great. It was solid. Solid, not great. Mercedes Moné versus Mina Shirakawa was hoping for Athena, but I guess Mercedes needed one more belt. She needs one more belt to beat Ultimo Dragon's record. And she got it. Mercedes Moné is now 11 belts Moné. She has surpassed Ultimo Dragon as, I think she's the, at least when it comes to female wrestlers, she is, yeah, she's the person that's won the most belts at the same time. I think she's the only wrestler to hold 11 belts at the exact same time. Of course she is, right? Why not? Why not? I thought Hangman Page and Samoa Joe was all right. I thought the heel turn afterwards was so much better. So the rematch should be even crazier. Excited about that. Yeah, man. Outside of the Young Bucks Jurassic Express match, I thought the Trios match, Hurt Syndicate and the Man, was a great match. And then the Tag Team Championship match, I thought that was good. But outside of the tag matches, man, even the impromptu opening tailgate match, apparently FTR versus Jet Speed started on the pre-show, and then it went past the pre-show into the pay-per-view. Okay. Don't make a habit out of that, Tony Khan. But I did see, I guess, the second half of that match, and it was good. So outside the tag matches, I thought this wasn't really a show that was very kind to the singles matches. I did not care about the TNT Championship match because I don't care about Kyle Fletcher. I was kind of hoping Mark Briscoe would win, but silly me. Yeah, I thought the show overall, it wasn't up to AEW's usual standard. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was a terrible show, because I'm seeing that going around too. Apparently, JD from NY called it the worst pay-per-view in AEW history. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it was the worst pay-per-view in its history. But it was, in some parts, underwhelming. Yes. I'm sorry, but that main event, I don't even know if I can be mad. If I can be mad at Jon Moxley and Darby Allin for not going as far as I thought they would go. I don't know. I don't know if it's to the point where maybe they should just stop going to St. Louis. Because if they can't get as violent as the storyline needs, or as they were trying to get, maybe not have a pay-per-view at St. Louis, maybe not build this match up for St. Louis, maybe save it for Full Gear. JD said it was one of the worst, not the worst. Well, I don't even think it was one of the worst. I thought it was a good show overall. It just, a lot of it didn't feel like a pay-per-view. If I'm being honest with you, a good portion of it did not feel like a pay-per-view. Felt like Collision in some instances, felt like Dynamite in some instances. We have to keep this in mind. You're making people spend $50. Was this show worth the $50? Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks, that was worth the $50. I don't know if I can say anything else was. Was hoping Darby Allin and Jon Moxley would be. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was. And then we get this comment from Peter Rocks, who says, AEW fans in attendance were hot all night. No, they were not. No, they were not. St. Louis was not a good crowd. They were dead for a majority of the show. Except for the tag matches. They were dead during the women's matches. They were barely reacting in the other matches. They came alive for the main event. But this was not a great crowd. And I think that might have hurt the show too. I don't know, y'all. Let me go through the show. I might end up changing my grade by the end of things because I didn't think it was great. And hey, Pete Rocks, I'm going to need you to watch yourself, sir. Let me just make this clear to you right now, because it's midnight and my tolerance for BS is at an all-time low. This is not your channel, Pete. This is my channel. You don't get to come on my channel and tell me what to say and what to think. You don't like what I had to say? You don't like my goddamn opinions on a show, on a wrestling show? Take your ass somewhere else. Take your ass to a AEW sicko stream that's going to sit here and jerk off to everything that Tony Khan does. It's great. It's great. It's great. 5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars. You're not going to get that here. If I don't like a fucking match, I'll tell you I don't like a match. And if you don't like that, there's the goddamn door. This is just Alyx's channel. There is no right way, there is no good way, no wrong way to feel about a wrestling show. And if you can't understand that, if you're so immature that you can't understand why someone might not like a match that you thought was fan-fucking-tastic, there's the door. I'm not telling you how to feel about a show. You thought the show was a 9.5 out of 10, one of the greatest shows in AEW history? Good for you. I'm not gonna placate my opinions to making just you happy. This isn't just about you. Now, in case you can't read, and in case you can't understand or see past yourself, you're too much of a narcissist to understand this, clearly read in the chat, if you read the chat, people didn't think the show was all that great. Matter of fact, a majority of the people in this chat thought the show was lackluster, underwhelming. We got people giving it D+, C+, C. I was kind enough to give it a B. And you have a problem with me not giving it a 9.5 out of 10. Take your ass somewhere else. Take your scrawny little ass over to a sicko stream that is gushing, slurping up everything that Tony Khan lays down. Gulp, gulp, gulp. And by the way, I did see that Dylan Danger. Block that dude. Thank you. Yeah, he fired me up. Because I am so sick and tired of these fucking sickos trying to police how people feel about AEW. Trying to tell you and me that we can't not like a show. That we had to take everything that AEW does and pretend it's fantastic. Pretend it's the greatest thing we've ever seen because it's not WWE and we need them. We need AEW for the wrestling business to survive. You need us to survive. AEW needs us. Because without the fans, you would literally be nothing. Now, if anybody thought this show was good, all power to you. If you thought the show was fantastic, all power to you. Again, overall, I gave it a B. I didn't think it was a terrible show. I just didn't think it lived up to the standard that AEW usually gives us. It didn't. But, again, I do have to wonder if the Missouri's Athletic Commission stopped it from being the show that we wanted it to be. Let's go ahead and move things along. It's past midnight. I am tired. My patience is ground level 0. Let's just get through this show. And you guys let me know down below if it was worth the $50. Thank you guys for being here. Let's go ahead and get things started. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edit help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing. Whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to get thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on Cameo. Give me a follow on Threads. Follow us on Discord. Follow me on Blue Sky, where the skies are clearer. Give me a follow on TikTok, for I am the tickest of the talkers. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. And yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi. And get yourself a t-shirt today at Person Tees and Teespring. Are you a Just Alyx guy? Then join the club. Get you an I'm a Just Alyx guy t-shirt. Hot out the press. Also, get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt. Get you a new school Alyx's World t-shirt. And many more t-shirt designs coming your way. So stay tuned. Join the cause. Expand the brand. Today, right here in Alyx's World. All right, who's crazy enough? Where my sickos at? The sickos, ladies and gentlemen, are watching me live because they have to be. It's past midnight. The only people up right now must be the sickos, or they're just fans of me. Regardless, thank you all for making me a part of your day. Show your love to the Mod Squad. Ultra! Shine Nice and Firestar Heart, Elias, Ademi, New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Khalil does everything. Huh? Land Danger, Dylan Danger, Teflon Don, The Mod Father, Zeno, Enigma, Big MGM, and Mrs. Firestar Heart, Angel Hollenbeck. Because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us. Please be sure you like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So boost that algorithm by hitting that like button. Give me your scores. Give me your grades. How we feeling about this show? Let me see who's here. I'm going to just go to the top and start reading people's names. Philly French. Philly French says the show was ma. Mid. Yeah. It was a little mid. We got JJ, who let the dogs out. Ooh, JJ Bulldog, Joseph Winters, Shadow Star, Game Shock. I see the Savior. The Savior Drew Usher is in the building. Andre Lavandaro. Diego Vargas. Are you new, Diego? Diego gave it an 8 out of 10. Chase. I might get hate, but I thought the pay-per-view was pretty boring and way too long. You're not saying anything that others haven't said. Rated L says it's Sting. Aaron Teagle. Sammy P. Boone. Good to have you here, sir. Thank you for the donation. Let me scroll down a little bit. Yeah, Pete Rocks can kick rocks and stay gone. Let me see here. Trey Lucado. Oh, the usuals. BT23. SDK. Donald Lanesio. Donald Lanesio. As Bret Hart would say, he gives the show a 4 out of 10. JJ Bulldog gave it a 5 out of 10. Oh my goodness, D+, 3 out of 10. They did not like the show. People did not like the show. I might have to change my scores. Let me go through the matches a little bit, because I think I might be feeling a C+. Might drop it to a C+, honestly. I'm not gonna give it a D. It wasn't a D. That finish, the ending to the show wasn't great, but Adam Ritter said a Nikki Bella match was better than this show. Sir, I'm gonna need you to show AEW a little bit more respect. Ain't nothing worse than a Nikki Bella match. Mike Pringle, C- at least. They starting Okada versus Takeshita, and we know where Darby versus the Death Riders is going to end, and Blood and Guts. Yeah, I have a feeling that the violence that we wanted to do will probably end up getting it a pay-per-view or Blood and Guts, so we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. All right, y'all, it's past midnight. Let's wrap this up. Let's get to this pay-per-view. I'm not gonna say this is gonna be a quick review, but I'm not going to have much to say other than what the results are. So they were live in St. Louis. The crowd was not great. St. Louis, do better. You paid all that money to show up and you sat on your ass for a good portion of the show. Disappointed in you. You were hot in some points, but you are not great throughout. Not a good crowd. Don't go back there. Especially with Missouri's Athletic Commission. Don't go back there ever again. So the show opened up with the second half of a tailgate pre-show match, FTR versus Jet Speed, and I'm not joking.
How many AEW wrestlers are injured?
Too many. So Wardlow, Swerve, Will Ospreay, and I think there's like 3 others. I'll have to pull up the list, but it's too many. That's for sure. How many were injured tonight? How about that? How many more were injured tonight? But as I was saying, they kicked off the show with the second part of the tailgate pre-show match between Jet Speed and FTR, and it was high octane, fast paced, and it was good. But the problem was it wasn't the full match. It wasn't the full match. Yeah, Jay White's hurt. And I feel bad because I'm like, what I'm seeing is awesome, but I'm being dropped in the middle of a match, so I can't give it any more than the B. FTR wins with the help of Stokely Hathaway holding down one of their legs, one of the people's Jet Speed's legs. I think it was Bailey. I'm not even sure. Whatever. So, yeah, it was nice, but don't make a habit out of that, please. If you're going to open the show with FTR and Jet Speed, open the show with FTR and Jet Speed. Give me the full match. Give me the full match. People are saying that it was not worth the $50. Yeah, I might have to change my grade. But what I saw was good. I'll give you that. Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. Okay, let's get to it. I don't care what y'all gotta say about Tekla. Homegirl needs work. Because I was not impressed by her performance. At all. I had a feeling that this was exactly the match we were going to get. Jamie Hayter should be competing for the Women's World title. Instead, she stuck with Tekla because Tekla took her out. And she came back months later. This match had to happen. It happened. And now I'm thinking, why didn't it happen on Dynamite or Collision? Because Jesus Christ, this match was not good. It was not good at all. It was decent at best. I was bored watching this match. Tekla is not great. As a mic worker, she's okay. As an in-ring performer, ugh. She has that spider crawl, and it's nice to see. But this was not pay-per-view worthy. Jamie Hayter won. Move on. Move Jamie Hayter up to that women's title match. Well, Jamie's going to have to wait because there's someone else who's getting that women's title match for Full Gear. But move her up to the main event scene. Have her fight somebody else. Get her away from Tekla. I know they got to do that women's blood and guts match. So hopefully that's better. But after that, get her far away from Tekla because she is dookie. What's that smell? Dookie. Match of the night was the $500,000 match. Again, like, it makes no sense for this to be... Okay, honestly, no, they made it make sense because the Young Bucks are broke and they're trying to get back to living a lavishing lifestyle. So they somewhat made it make sense. But the Young Bucks took on Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and of course, Luchasaurus. Fantastic match. Great tag match. Top to bottom, start to finish. I loved it. The Young Bucks continue to show us that they're one of the best tag teams in the world. Great chemistry. And the story worked because, remember, they used to be a team. Jack Perry and the Young Bucks used to be a team. And we haven't seen Jurassic Express work together in such a long time, so it felt refreshing to see them back inside the ring. And you forget how great of a tag team Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus used to be. They worked so well with each other. This was awesome. And that finisher? What do they call that? The backdrop into the powerbomb? Oh, that was so cool. Sit out powerbomb. Isn't... I was going to say the meteor or like nuclear or something. It was something like catastrophic. How about that? But I forgot the name of it. Doesn't matter. Match was fantastic. Jurassic Express win. Afterwards, you see them trying to reconcile with the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are like, nope, we're not going to do it. They hit rock bottom. And then the Callis family comes out, attacks Jurassic Express. Kenny Omega comes in to make the save. Whatever. So we'll see what they do with that. I have a feeling that might be the War Games match. Not the War Games match, the Blood and Guts match. Some version of the Don Callis family versus Kenny Omega, Jurassic Express, and the Young Bucks. We'll see. The Hurt Syndicate versus The Demand. Ugh, what a bad name. So this was a number 1 contendership match for the trios titles. I guess that spiced it up a little bit, but I still don't care because I don't care about The Demand. I understand that they want to get The Demand over. They got a hard on, by they, I mean Tony Khan. He has a hard on for GOA. I don't understand it. But this was a great match. I'll give you that. I thought this was great. It was nice seeing Shelton Benjamin, 50-year-old Shelton Benjamin, working like he was 28. That boy did, I swear to God, he did a dive to the outside. He hit that tope like it was 2005. I will never forgive Vince McMahon for not pushing this guy. Shelton Benjamin should have been a world champion multiple times over. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. I thought all 6 men looked great. The Hurt Syndicate do win, and they will go on to fight the Ops for the Trios Tag Team titles on Wednesday. And they should win. They better win. TNT Championship match. Everybody's favorite wrestler, Kyle Fletcher, took on Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe's never going to win a championship, is he? Mark Briscoe is just never going to win a championship. One of the most sympathetic baby faces on the entire roster. Just not championship worthy, I guess. Kyle Fletcher and him had a good match. Was it worth the pay-per-view? Was it worth $50? No. It would have been the perfect main event for a Dynamite. And I'm serious. Like, if this would have main evented Dynamite this past week, I would have bought it. This felt like a Dynamite main event, not a pay-per-view match. It was good, but not worth $50. Kyle Fletcher wins. Of course he does. Next up is the AEW Women's World Championship. Kris Statlander defends her belt against Timeless Toni Storm. Anyone else thought this match was kind of, I won't say underwhelming, but you expect it better. Okay, underwhelming. This was the first time these two had a one-on-one match, right? Well, I was hoping they would tear the house down. They didn't. It was a match. It happened, and then it was over with. And I'm sitting here like, well, that was disappointing. I was hoping they would do more. They didn't, but okay. Kris Statlander just beats Toni Storm. She just beats her. Okay. Yeah, so Kris Statlander is that woman now. She's her. She beats Toni Storm clean, like a whistle. She goes to leave, and then Mercedes Moné walks in and goes, "What's hood? Not what's good, but what's hood?" And then Kris is like, "All right, I'm gonna remember this bitch. I will remember this bitch." So Mercedes comes out. She's like, "Open challenge. Who wants a shot at my title? Any champion." And I'm sitting here going, Athena. And then I thought, of course not. Why would they go with Athena? We gotta give Mercedes another belt. So they sent out Mina Shirakawa, who was let me get this right. Mina is the interim women's ROH television champ. Okay. Who's the real women's ROH television champ? Because if she's the interim, who's the real champ? Did I miss something? Was it Red Velvet? Who was the television champ? Red Velvet, right? Is she hurt? So is Mercedes Moné gonna have to challenge Red Velvet for the actual championship when she comes back? Yeah, Red Velvet is injured. Okay. All right, so Red Velvet versus Mercedes in the future. That should be, well, that sounds like a great match, honestly. That sounds like a fantastic match. All right, so Mercedes Moné took on Mina Shirakawa. The match was solid, not great. Didn't blow my socks off. How about that? And Mercedes just beats her with her foot on the ropes. So guess what that means? Mercedes Moné is now 11 belts Moné. And she has beaten Ultimo Dragon's record. Ultimo Dragon at one point held 10 belts. He held 10 belts at the right? 10 belts at the exact same time. Well, Mercedes just beat it. She beat it. 11 belts. 11 belts. She could win 12 soon. You want to know why? Because Kris Statlander came out and tried to ruin her celebration. And then Mercedes said, all right, bitch, you just entered my danger zone. You just crossed my eyes. I couldn't beat Toni Storm, but I'm going to beat that ass at Full Gear. Please do it. Do it. Do it. Feed your anger. No, for real, like, do it. Give Mercedes all the belts. Give her 12 belts. You know you want to. Come on, it's time. It's time. I told y'all, she either wins it at All In or she wins it later. It's about to be later. So, 12 belts, Moné, here she comes. Maybe even 13 belts. Because someone just told me she's going after the WPW women's title. Great. Excited about that. AEW World Tag Team Championship, Brody King and Bandido. Bandido took on Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. This match was really good. This was carried by Okada and Takeshita. Not getting along.
So the Owen Hart championship counts as a belt even though it's not defended?
I have no idea. I think there's another belt that we're missing. I had to go through her list again because I do think she is 11. Or maybe she's tied Ultimo Dragon. I don't even know. That is a good point. It's not really a belt. I didn't even think about it that way. Shh. Don't bring it up. I want to trigger the sickos. I want Mercedes to beat the record. Don't let the sickos hear you make sense, SDK. SDK! But in all honesty, probably not. It shouldn't count. And quite honestly, the interim Ring of Honor Championship shouldn't count either. So, anyways, tag team title match. Okada and Takeshita carried this match. Their drama made it a lot more entertaining. Great back and forth. Brodito was... See, I still think Buddy Matthews and Brody King make a better tag team, but Bandido and Brody King are a great, fun tag team. Okada accidentally clotheslines Rainmakers Takeshita, allowing Brodito to take advantage of it. And Bandido pins Okada with a one-arm X-Plex, or one-armed German suplex. It was nice. Really nice. So Brodito win the match, and Bandido gets a shot at Okada's unified, not intercontinental, but really intercontinental championship on Wednesday. Cool. AEW World Championship match. Hangman Page defends his belt against Samoa Joe. This match was solid. Not great. There were a lot of points where lots of miscommunications. Hangman Page completely missed a moonsault, and then Joe sold it like it hit him. I don't know what happened. It was stupid. It looked really, really, really bad. So, I don't even know. Like, it's just one of those things where I expected better. Because on paper, this should have been like a classic, or at least a fantastic match. And it ended up being okay. Not that great. It was whatever. Joe ends up losing clean to 3 buckshot lariats. And then afterwards, they're celebrating. He raises Joe's arm. The Ops come out. And then Joe and the Ops turn on Hangman Page and whoop his ass. Samoa Joe turns heel. Turns heel on Hangman Page and whoops his candy ass. So this feud continues. They will have one more match at Full Gear. I am excited about that. That looks good. And I'm assuming they're going to lose the belts on Wednesday. The Ops are going to lose the belts. Cool. Sounds good to me. And Joe being a heel, yeah, honestly, that just works better. And I think he should win the belt, if you ask me. All right, main event. Let's get to it. Let's talk about this main event. Let's just have a conversation about what the show ended on. I Quit match. Darby Allin, Jon Moxley. They hyped this match up to be one of the most violent matches you will ever see. You had Darby Allin for weeks carrying around flaming objects, whether it's a Molotov, a flamethrower. You had him kidnapping people. Didn't he try to set Jon Moxley on fire at the last pay-per-view? I think I saw that on Twitter. So it looked like they were going to do something really, really crazy. And you had the fans chanting, "We are nervous. We are nervous," before the match even started. So, starts off pretty good. Jon Moxley going after Darby Allin's mouth, bloodies his mouth open, and then carries him outside. And then he gets a skewer. One of them barbecue skewers. He puts Darby Allin's hand on a ring step, gets the skewer, and then proceeds to jam the skewer underneath Darby Allin's fingernail. And I'm like, Okay, I didn't do that. I didn't do that last part. But you get the idea. I can't watch. And so, this super chat.
Maybe Tony need to use Chat GPT for his shows. SmackDown wasn't bad last night. Keep up the great work, Alyx. Love this channel, not too negative.
Appreciate it, man. Javante, is this your first time donating? Javante Gibson. Thank you. Yeah, that skewer spot was nasty. That was nasty. And then the match keeps going on. And then Jon Moxley takes off Darby Allin's belt and whips him with it. Okay. And then I think after that, Darby goes into his backpack, gets out some lighter fluid, and then starts drenching Jon Moxley in it. And you're like, oh no. Is he going to set him on fire? And Jon Moxley's like, no, please don't do it. And then, of course, the rest of the crew, the rest of the Death Riders come out. Now it's 5-on-1. Freaking Claudio picks up Darby Allin. They have tables set on the outside. And we're thinking, okay, he's going to drop him to the table. Nope. Turns around, looks at the announcer tables. The announcer tables on the other side of the ring, says, hell yeah, proceeds to run with Darby Allin, hurls him with the strength of 1,000 men. Darby goes careening through the air, splat on the announcer table. Crazy spot. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Darby Allin is a psychopath for taking that bump. He's out. Out cold. They drag his carcass around the ring and then proceed to put him through 2 other tables. And you're thinking, oh God, it's going to get a lot worse than this, isn't it? It's going to get a lot worse. Oh no. Darby won't quit. And you're like, oh shit, okay. Now you're sitting up. Now you're strapped in. You're thinking, okay, well, here we go. we see a fish tank. And look here. What ends up happening is not what I thought was going to happen. But I saw a fish tank, and I got nightmares. I said, oh no, not piranhas. Not piranhas. Not piranhas. I was getting sick to my stomach. I'm like, are they gonna have piranhas? They got that fish tank. I said, shit. And then they start pouring water in it. I'm like, oh God, here comes the piranhas. No piranhas. It's just water in the fish tank. I'm like, are they gonna like put electricity in it? No? Okay. So Darby Allin gets inside the ring, and Moxley starts putting his head in the fish tank and then pulling it out. Putting his head, dumping it in there. He's trying to waterboard him. He's trying to drown him. And like, okay. All right, I guess that's hardcore. He got a taser out. Taser. The taser's hurt. But taser. Like, okay. I'm like, where's the pitchfork? Where's the fork? Where's the blood? Where's like the torture? The unmitigated gore that we were expecting. The snapping turtle. And then you're thinking, is this gonna get better than this? The lights go out. You're like, the hell? Lights went out. Lights come on. It's Sting. It's Sting. Why? I don't know. Sting. Sting proceeds to help Darby Allin beat up the Death Riders with his baseball bat. Just wham, batter up. And then when it's just Sting and Jon Moxley inside the ring, Sting throws the bat to Darby. Darby catches the bat. He proceeds to whip Jon Moxley's ass with the bat, go after his legs, pull Jon Moxley to the center of the ring, and he puts Jon Moxley into a sharpshooter, the Scorpion Deathlock sharpshooter, puts him in a sharpshooter. Jon Moxley's face is in a puddle of water in the middle of the ring, and then Jon Moxley quits. Lame finish. Easily one of the lamest finishes to a match I've seen. Especially with all that hype. That's how you end your main event. What was going to be one of the most violent matches that we ever saw. That's how you end it. See, honestly, I believe they had another match planned, but they were told to turn it back because of the Missouri Athletic Commission. I hated that ending. That was bullshit. It was stupid. A puddle of water is what made Jon Moxley quit. Water. I don't know what was more disappointing. The ending to the exploding barbed wire death match, Sparkles, from 2021, or this match. Darby Allin beat Jon Moxley with a Scorpion Deathlock. After skewers, after all of that, that's how we do it. That's how we end it. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? That's what did it. That's it. A Scorpion Deathlock. After this whole buildup of it's going to take a lot to make me quit. That's what makes him quit. Okay.
Also, if you watched on Prime, the show ended early.
Let me look at my grades really quickly. Let me go over my grades. I said FTR and Jet Speed was a good match. I'll leave that alone. Jamie Hayter and Tekla C+. That's being fucking generous, but I'll leave that alone. Match of the night was Young Bucks and Jurassic Express. I give that an A. That's staying an A. Her Syndicate versus The Demand. Said that was a B+. I'll leave that alone. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe was a Dynamite main event, but I'll leave that alone. Statlander and Toni Storm. I'm thinking about dropping that to a C+. I'll leave that alone. B- is fine. Mercedes and Mina, B- is fine. Tag match was good. Hangman and Samoa, B- was fine. Yeah, I don't know. I do believe the stuff that they did was good. I do believe Darby and Jon Moxley did a lot of good things in this match. And there were some things that made me go, ah, ah, you know. So I can't say it was a terrible match. But that ending was dog shit. I'm sorry. I hate that ending. The finish of the match just, ugh. I don't even know, bro. What grade would you give that match? What grade would you give that match? Because I'm thinking about maybe I don't want to say B- because I thought it was better than the women's matches. I don't know. I'll keep the scores the way they are. The grades are what they are. You see them below. Yeah, this show, overall, it was good. Not great. 4.5 hours is way too goddamn long. I think if the show was an hour shorter, I wouldn't be as drained and I wouldn't feel as insulted. But Jesus Christ Almighty, y'all, it's literally 12:56 in the morning. 1:56 for a lot of you. It's Eastern time. Give me your scores. Give me your grades. Because I did not like that finish. I just didn't. C+ grade for the main event. Joseph Winter says it felt like a C. Trey Lucado, D+. SD Kai, D. JJ Bulldog gives it a D+. Maybe C-. Shallow Stars, C- show in general. C-, C-. Wow. Lots of C's and D's. No B's. They did a lot of good things in that Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley match, though. Yeah, I thought Young Bucks and Jurassic Express was an awesome match, so I'll give that an A. Lewis Gamer 639 gives it a C-. Mike Pringle gives it, oh my goodness, C-. So I'm guessing a lot of people didn't like this show at all. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. Kris Statlander was asked if she would like for her match with Mercedes Moné at Full Gear to be the main event of the show. Ooh, Mercedes Moné and Kris Statlander, main event of the show? I mean, they could do that, but will they do that? Yeah, not a lot of people like that finish. It was not a good finish. 4 hours is too long, I agree. We got one B. David Hairston gave it a B. I'm ticked to see that Mina was jawed out again and Mercedes was given another title. On the ladder for what? Because Mercedes wants another belt. Charles Bentz gave it an F for the entire show. It was complete dog shit, trash spot, monkey wrestling, zero storytelling, stupid, unnecessary death match wrestling. It was probably going to be worse for Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. Luis Gamer says, for the pay-per-view quality we're used to from AEW, this one didn't move me much outside of the Bucks, Express, and Fletcher Briscoe, even if it felt like a Dynamite main event. Road Punk, the day that Tony Khan stops booking the show, AEW will be saved. My friend, you ain't lying. So now a lot of people like this show. Yikes. Well, leave your thoughts down below. Y'all, I need to go to bed. This is... Tony Khan seriously needs to work on these shows not going past midnight. If there's anything I can critique about Tony Khan, he has got to stop making these shows 4.5, 5 hours long. It's just too much. People got work. And even if they don't, no one wants to stay up that late to watch a wrestling show. Sorry. Well, next month we'll get 12 belts, Moné, and everything will be fine. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it goes out. When it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. I am ending this show at 1 a.m. in the morning. 2 a.m. if you're watching Eastern time. So I'm getting the hell out of here. I love you all, and I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's World. A place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm out. Peace.
When you're in my